Imagine waking up in a desert. Your tongue is a piece of dry leather, fused to the roof of your mouth. There is no moisture, no relief, only a sticky, suffocating dryness that makes your first breath feel like swallowing dust. Most people reach for a glass of water, shrug it off, and think, I'm just thirsty. They are wrong. That bone-dry mouth is not a request for a drink. It is a biological alarm siren. Your body is screaming that its internal irrigation system has collapsed. You think you can just pour water down your throat and fix it, but biology doesn't work like that. It is not as simple as filling a bucket. That dryness is a calculated signal, a red flag planted by your nervous system. And today, I am going to show you why your body is failing to hydrate you. I am going to give you a clinical trick involving nothing more than water and a precise pinch of salt that can recalibrate your entire morning sensation from the very first hour. Pay attention, because I'm also going to reveal the one silent habit almost everyone performs at night without realizing it, a mistake that effectively turns your mouth into a high-speed exhaust pipe, draining you of every drop of moisture before the sun even rises. Before you touch your coffee, before you even look at your phone, you must perform this specific physiological reset. This is the protocol. You need a glass of water, not ice cold, not even room temperature. It must be lukewarm, mimicking the exact temperature of a warm bath, around 37 degrees Celsius. Into this water, you will drop a single, tiny pinch of sea salt. I am talking about the small amount that fits between your thumb and index finger. No more. Stir it until it vanishes. Drink that entire glass within the first 5 minutes of opening your eyes. If you want to accelerate the enzymatic response, add a squeeze of fresh lemon. 1 glass. 1 pinch. 5 minutes. That is the baseline. Now, this is where the average person fails. They make 3 critical errors that keep them trapped in a cycle of chronic morning dehydration. Error number 1 is drinking cold water the moment you wake up. When ice-cold liquid hits your fasted stomach, your internal systems go into a state of shock. The tissues tense up, the pyloric sphincter constricts, and the water sits there like a cold weight instead of being absorbed into the bloodstream. Lukewarm water, however, is a biological key. It slides through the system, recognized by the body as a compatible fluid, allowing for immediate cellular uptake. It makes a massive difference in how quickly your brain and tissues rehydrate. Error number 2 is using standard table salt. This is a mistake of chemistry. Table salt is a dead, processed shadow of what your body actually requires. It is pure sodium chloride, stripped of everything else. Sea salt, however, is a complex matrix. It contains sodium, yes, but it also carries the trace minerals that act as the electrical conductors for your cells. If you use table salt, the experiment fails. Sea salt is the master key that unlocks the cellular gates. Error number 3 is the most dangerous delusion of all. It is the belief that morning dry mouth is simply caused by not drinking enough water during the previous day. While total volume matters, the reality for most people waking up with a parched throat is far more structural. There is something happening under the cover of darkness while you sleep that no amount of daytime water can fix. We are going to look at that mechanism right now. If you wake up with that sandpaper feeling every single day, this reality check is for you. This is information that has been buried under basic advice for too long. So, why is your mouth a desert in the morning? Let's strip away the complications. During the night, your body enters a state of conservation. It naturally produces less saliva than during the active daylight hours. That is a normal biological rhythm. But in many of you, the production doesn't just slow down. It flatlines. It drops so low that the protective mucosal barrier in your mouth evaporates. This happens for 2 primary reasons. The first is a mineral deficit. Think of your salivary glands as a high-pressure faucet. If the system lacks the necessary minerals, specifically sodium, potassium, and magnesium, the pressure drops. The faucet can't turn on. Without those electrolytes, your body cannot physically manufacture the saliva needed to keep your tissues lubricated. The second reason is the one you aren't aware of because you are unconscious when it happens. It is mouth breathing. Millions of people spend 8 hours a night with their mouths hanging open. This creates a literal wind tunnel effect. The air moves across the sensitive tissues of the tongue and throat, acting like a biological air conditioner that runs all night long, stripping every ounce of moisture away. This is why the sea salt protocol is non-negotiable. It doesn't just give you water. It gives you the mineral pressure required to jumpstart saliva production and repair the damage done by 8 hours of evaporation. It restores what was lost in the dark. When you implement this protocol, the biological shift is not subtle, it is immediate. You are not waiting a week for some vague improvement. Most people report a definitive change by the second or third morning. This is because you are finally giving your mouth the specific elemental tools it lost while you were unconscious. This leads to the first major benefit. The suffocating sensation of a desert dry mouth begins to dissolve. The water and sea salt matrix provides a specialized rehydration that standard tap water simply cannot achieve. It coats the tissues and signals the salivary glands to re-engage, ending the cycle of waking up feeling like you have swallowed glass. Benefit number 2 targets the metallic, bitter, and often offensive taste that greets you in the mirror. When your mouth is chronically dry, the bacterial balance shifts. Without the natural antibiotic properties of healthy saliva, anaerobic bacteria flourish, creating that foul morning acidity. By using lukewarm water and sea salt from the first minute of your day, you are flushing that acidic environment and recalibrating the pH of your oral cavity. The bitterness fades because the biological engine, your saliva, is finally functioning as a cleaning agent again. Then there is benefit number 3, which most people find the most shocking: a dramatic reduction in thirst throughout the entire day. Have you ever felt like you could drink gallons of water and still feel parched? That is a sign of poor hydration quality, not quantity. Your body is not retaining the water, it is simply passing through you. The pinch of sea salt in your morning glass acts as a cellular anchor. It helps your body actually hold onto and utilize the hydration you provide. You stop being a leaky bucket and start becoming a pressurized system. Now, let us move into the precision protocol for the next 10 days. This is not a suggestion. This is a tactical one. 0-day recalibration. On days 1, 2, and 3, your objective is simple but non-negotiable. Every single morning, the moment you rise, you consume 1 full glass of lukewarm water with that specific pinch of sea salt. If you want the enzymatic boost, add the juice of half or even a whole lemon. Do not sip it over an hour. Do not leave half the glass on the nightstand. Drink the entire dose within 5 minutes. This is the foundation upon which everything else is built. On days 4 and 5, we introduce the second phase of the irrigation strategy. If you notice that the morning dryness is already receding, you are ready to add a nighttime step. Before you go to bed, you will drink half a glass of lukewarm water, but this time, without the salt. This is pure, temperature-controlled hydration, designed to pre-saturate your tissues before the long sleep begins. It prepares the oral cavity for the biological slowdown of the night, acting as a buffer against the natural drop in saliva production. From day 6 through day 10, you maintain the dual strike protocol: the sea salt water in the morning and the plain lukewarm water before sleep. During this window, I want you to evaluate the shifts. Is the morning taste improving? Is the sandpaper feeling on your tongue gone? This is where the long-term metabolic changes take root. But there is one final piece of the puzzle that almost everyone ignores. And if you are a mouth breather, no amount of salt will save you. If you sleep with your mouth open, you are fighting a losing battle against physics. In the next phase, I will show you the trick to ending that habit forever. If you are one of the millions who sleep with their mouth open, you are effectively running an industrial fan over your internal organs for 8 hours every night. No amount of hydration can withstand that level of evaporation. It is a structural failure, not a chemical one. This brings us to the final critical realization of this protocol. If you have followed the mineral salt strategy and your symptoms haven't fully vanished, you are battling a mechanical leak. You are losing moisture faster than your body can produce it. This is why the morning salt water is so vital. It is the only way to recover the massive mineral loss that occurs through that constant nocturnal airflow. However, we must address the reality of the situation. Dry mouth is a biological signal, and sometimes that signal is warning you of something deeper. While this 10-day protocol is designed to fix the vast majority of cases caused by dehydration and mouth breathing, you must be your own health advocate. If you follow this exact method for 3 weeks and the desert in your mouth remains unchanged, or if you feel parched every hour of the day, regardless of how much you drink, you must stop and consult a medical professional. There are underlying conditions, from autoimmune responses to chronic systemic imbalances, that require more than a pinch of salt to rectify. Furthermore, you must audit your medicine cabinet. If you are taking medication for high blood pressure or using diuretics, understand that these compounds are designed to flush fluid from your system. A dry mouth is a documented side effect of these chemical interventions. Do not stop your medication. That is a conversation for you and your doctor, but recognize that your body is operating under a chemical drought. You need the sea salt protocol more than anyone else to maintain the delicate balance of your internal fluids. This is the final bonus for those who are serious about their biology. If you are already doing the morning salt water and you want to stop the mouth breathing habit that is sabotaging your sleep, you need the mechanical fix. If your mouth stays open all night, the water and salt will help you recover, but they will never fully solve the root cause. You are treating the symptom while the wound stays open. That mechanical correction is the missing link in human health, and it is exactly what we will tackle next. This isn't just about a dry tongue. It is about the quality of your life, the health of your teeth, and the depth of your sleep. 1 glass, 1 pinch of sea salt, 5 minutes every morning. This is the simplest, most effective physiological hack you can perform. It is not theory. It is mechanism. Practice this. Follow the 10-day schedule with military precision and report your results. The desert ends here. I will see you in the next phase of your biological reconstruction.